The habits your child builds now will determine the level of success and happiness for the rest of their lives. Habits are learned, and we as parents are the most important teachers our kids will ever have. Many of the habits they learn will be due to our direct involvement or the lack thereof in their schoolwork. That's why I developed this video as a tool to assist you in giving your child the very best chance to build great habits early. There are 9 secrets that we'll look at here, 6 at-home secrets and 3 at-school secrets. I chose to limit the information to what was probably the most critical things that could impact the performance and learning for your children. Secret number 1, leadership by example. Be a role model to your kids. What do you want them to become when they become adults? What habits do you want them to learn? So one of the things that they found in studies is that if there are parents in the home that read regularly, the child is much more likely to be a reader, an avid reader. So are you reading at home? Are you reading a variety of things? Are you reading things that improve your mind, improve your spirit, improve your skills, and also just for fun? So make sure that they see you reading and that reading is important to you. Along with that, are you a lifelong learner? Do you want them to be a learner for what's going to be a big part of their lives, 25 years? Show them the example. Are you taking classes to improve yourself? Are you investing in yourself to make yourself a better person, a more wise person, a more valuable person? So leadership by example means you're a lifelong learner. They see that you're learning your whole life. They think learning is important. And with that, are you being the person who follows through and gets things done? Do they know what your chores are at home? And do they know that you find those important and you get those done on a timely basis? And when you don't, do you step up and say, you know what, I didn't do that, but I'm going to make sure I get it done right now. So the things that they're seeing you doing are the things that they're going to learn to do. So be the person that you want them to become. Secret number 2 is communicate with them, not at them. Talk to them in terms they can understand. As parents, we think that we've made it very, very clear, and expectations and outcomes they should be understood. But we need to make sure that we've broken it down into very discrete and understandable pieces so that children can digest it. Make sure that they bought into those expectations also, because as a parent, we tend to tell our kids what to do and expect them to follow through, but they need to have some involvement in that decision-making process. They need to buy into that. So we need to make sure that we communicate clearly with them, tell them exactly what's expected, get them involved in that decision-making process, get their understanding and summarize that they understand what we're talking about, and then make sure that they're going to follow through with that. Speaking of follow through, remember we manage systems and we lead people. So you need to create some systems in your life with your family that everybody understands, and then help lead by example and manage that process. And secret number 3 is have systems. Get organized. It's almost never too early to teach your child what a planner is or create some kind of a planner. A planner is just something that helps them get their time organized, helps you get your time organized. And it helps give them a feel for, how much can we put in our space, in our time. So it can be a Franklin planner, something that's very, very structured, or it can be something that we use around the school, a controlling calendar. It has all the tasks we have to do broken down by the week and by the day, and then maybe even by the hour sometimes. But at least if you have something organized, you can work with your child to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? When are we going to do it? How are we going to get this done? You can work together to make that happen and help them be responsible to make those things go forward. The reason this is important for school is because there's a lot of social activities. As parents, we want to have our children do all kinds of great experiences. And the children want to do that. But then those become exciting and schoolwork becomes quite dull. So we want to try and avoid the homework assignments. So if we can get the planner, the controlling calendar, or the Franklin planner, whatever planner you have to get organized, now you can say, okay, we're going to have all these things. Where are you going to do your homework? We need a certain amount of time for that. And when we start looking at all those things, we can start looking at our lives as a family and say, are we going crazy? As parents, are logistically we going nuts trying to get everything done, running to this place and that place and the other place? Are we spending time together for family dinners? Critically important. What are the values that we have that we're trying to share with our kids? So does your child have a schedule that's predictable and they can look to and say it's structured? And now that we're organized and know when we're going to do things, secret 4 is to have goals. Where were the grades last year? We're going to try and get those a little bit better than they were last year, this year. We're going to improve our goals. By how much? If we're getting B's last year, is it A's? If it was C's last year, getting B's? Let's think about goals, and we can start thinking about how we're going to make that happen. So working with your child, you can start making those goals with them, and we can start saying, okay, what got in the way of making those goals happen last year? So let's make sure we get these things taken care of and organized so we can meet these new goals. And in those organized, scheduled study times, set goals for those study times. We're going to work for about 45 minutes and take a 5-minute break, half an hour, take a 10-minute break. The mind can really only hold attention for about 45 minutes for adults. So for children, probably a little bit less. So you want to set goals for a 30-minute study time or a 40-minute study time, and then maybe a 10-minute decompression time, and then right back to it. So if you can set up a goal of 30 or 40 minutes study, 10 minutes relaxation or getting the bugs out, and then 30 or 40 more minutes of study, and then another 10 minutes of getting the bugs out. That might be a good schedule. Then they're getting an hour and a half every day, 5 days a week of study time. That makes really good sense. Now, once we get this scheduled, make sure we don't procrastinate. Make sure as adults we don't let our schedules get in the way and conflict with those schedules set for our kids, and let's not let the kids get their schedules out of whack so they lose their study times. They end up in procrastinating to not get things done. So make sure we finish our assignments on time. That becomes one of the goals. And secret 5 is to have structure. We've talked a little bit about that, but now we're talking about structuring our environment. And as much as kids would like us not to believe it, kids thrive on structured environments. It's what they need. It's what they need for security. And a lot of times when we have acting out from children, it's because it's so unstructured that they don't know where the boundaries are and they feel uncomfortable because nothing feels safe, nothing feels predictable. So for our study habits and our study area, let's make sure we have some structure in that. So get organized, define the space that they're going to work in. Working on their bed, doing homework, probably not such a great idea. If they have a table or a desk with a chair, it's a very good thing. Now, every time they go to this space with these things, they're going to be orienting themselves toward productivity and study. So make sure you get it organized. A chair and a table is the best place to do it. Make sure they have enough area to spread their work out a little bit. You don't want to have a cramped little space where they can't do anything. So get the stuff organized also. So do they need pencils? Do they need highlighters, erasers? Do they need paper? Do they need a computer? Do they need internet access? So get all this stuff organized so they can quickly and easily do what they need to do. If they're making notes and they have to erase the notes and they have to find an eraser, it just disrupts that workflow. So help them build good study habits. Make sure you get all the supplies that you need. Think it through, ask the child what they'll need. Think it through from your perspective. What do you think they would need? What would you need if you were doing executive level work and trying to get the best product possible? What kind of things would you need on hand? So make sure that you have systems in place, but those systems work with the structure that you're going to have for them to work within.